Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Good evening and welcome to the Thursday edition of Market Mantra, the program in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. My name is Rajesh Lake and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vishal Sharma.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आप सभी का स्वागत। प्रतिदिन की तरह आज भी हम आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार से जुड़े ताजा आर्थिक समाचार आप तक लाएंगे और उन पर चर्चा भी करेंगे। चर्चा के लिए कार्यक्रम में आज ऑनलाइन आमंत्रित हैं बाजार विश्लेषक राजीव नागपाल। राजीव नागपाल जी, नमस्कार। मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत।
धन्यवाद।
Welcome, Rajiv.
थैंक्स राजेश।
और सबसे पहले अंग्रेजी में हेडलाइंस।
Domestic stocks rise more than 0.5%, in sync with positive global cues. Sensex regains 48,000 mark, Nifty reclaims 14,400 level. And Brent prices fall amid surging COVID-19 cases in India, the world's third biggest oil importer.
सकारात्मक वैश्विक संकेतों से घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में 0.5% से अधिक की बढ़त। सेंसेक्स फिर से पहुंचा 48,000 के स्तर पर। निफ्टी ने दोबारा हासिल किया 14,400 का स्तर। और दुनिया के तीसरे सबसे बड़े तेल आयातक देश भारत में कोविड-19 मामले बढ़ने के बीच ब्रेंट कच्चे तेल की कीमतों में आई गिरावट। कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत शेयर बाजार से। सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी आज 0.5% से अधिक की बढ़त के साथ बंद हुए हैं। वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों से प्राप्त सकारात्मक संकेतों और कंपनियों के बेहतर तिमाही नतीजों के बीच घरेलू शेयर बाजारों में तेजी रही। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 48,000 के निशान से ऊपर बंद हुआ, जबकि निफ्टी 14,400 के स्तर से ऊपर पहुंच गया। सेंसेक्स 375 अंक के उछाल से 0.79% की वृद्धि के साथ 48,081 पर बंद हुआ। निफ्टी भी 110 अंक की वृद्धि से 0.77% ऊपर 14,406 पर पहुंच गया। व्यापक बाजार की बात करें तो व्यापक बाजार भी लाभ में रहा। बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स 0.28% चढ़ा और स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में 0.59% की बढ़त दर्ज हुई।
The Sensex and the Nifty today closed with gains of more than 0.5%. The domestic stocks climbed amid the positive cues from global equity markets amid good corporate quarterly results. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange ended above 48,000 mark, while the Nifty surged to finish above 14,400 level. The Sensex rose 375 points or 0.79% to finish at 48,081. The Nifty also appreciated 110 points or 0.77% to settle at 14,406. The broader market at BSE also gained, underperforming the Sensex. The mid-cap rose 0.28% and the small-cap index appreciated 0.59%. In the Sensex pack, shares of 19 companies climbed while 11 fell. ICICI was the top gainer as it climbed 3.6%, followed by HDFC, which gained 2.7%. Bajaj Auto and HDFC Bank both surged 2.3% and SBI rose 2.1%. On the other hand, Titan lost the most with a fall of 2.8%. Hindustan Unilever, Asian Paints, Nestle India and Ultratech Cement tumbled 1.8% each. In sectoral indices, 14 out of 19 sectors gained. The Bankex sector was the top gainer as it added 2.1%, followed by finance and metal sectors which gained 1.9% each. Realty sector stocks rose 1.4%. On the other hand, consumer durables declined 1.5% and FMCG sector stocks fell 0.6%. The overall breadth of the BSE trade was positive as shares of 1,765 companies gained while 1,154 declined. Shares of 165 companies remained unchanged.
और नजर डालें रुपए के प्रदर्शन पर तो विदेशी मुद्रा विनिमय बाजार में रुपया आज 7 पैसे कमजोर होकर $1 के मुकाबले 74 रुपए 95 पैसे पर बंद हुआ। वहीं दूसरी तरफ विश्व की 6 प्रमुख मुद्राओं की तुलना में डॉलर की मजबूती दर्शाने वाला डॉलर सूचकांक 0.14% की गिरावट से 91.03 पर दर्ज हुआ। और आज शेयर बाजार के प्रदर्शन पर बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे साथ जुड़ गए हैं, जैसे कि हमने आपको कार्यक्रम में शुरू में भी बताया, राजीव नागपाल जी, बाजार विश्लेषक। राजीव जी, अगर हम आज के प्रदर्शन की बात करें शेयर बाजार की, तो आज 3 दिनों की कमजोर प्रदर्शन के बाद आज बाजार में थोड़ी तेजी देखने को मिली है और बाजार ने जो है निचले स्तरों से आज काफी अच्छी रिकवरी भी दिखाई। लेकिन जो ये कोरोना की जो सेकेंड वेव लहर की बात हो रही है, इसको देखते हुए क्या अभी बाजार सीमित दायरे में ही कारोबार करता दिखेगा या कुछ आप तेजी के कोई पुख्ता संकेत और भी देख रहे हैं?
देखिए, 3 दिन की मंदी के बाद एक दिन आज जो था वो वीकली ऑप्शंस की एक्सपायरी थी, तो उसकी वजह से बैंकिंग स्टॉक्स में तेजी देखी गई और वो एक बड़ा रीजन था कि आपने इंडेक्स लेवल पे तेजी देखी। जबकि ब्रॉडर मार्केट अगर इंडेक्स लेवल पे देखेंगे तो बड़े हैं, लेकिन उतनी बेटर मार्केट ब्रेथ नहीं थी। तो प्रोबेबिलिटी ये है कि अगर कोई मेजर नेगेटिव न्यूज फ्लो नहीं आता तो जैसा कि आपने कहा एक रेंज बाउंड मोड में रहेगा, बट रिस्क टू द डाउन साइड स्टिल रिमेन्स हाई। प्रोबेबिलिटी कि अगर कोई नेगेटिव न्यूज आती है तो जो फॉल है वो ज्यादा होगा एज कम्पेयर टू रिएक्शन टू द पॉजिटिव न्यूज, जहाँ पे थोड़ा सा बिकॉज ऑफ दिस कोरोना सिचुएशन we might see for some time Indian markets जो है वो शायद अंडर परफॉर्म करें बाकी ग्लोबल मार्केट्स को।
So Rajiv, do you think there's going to be a bit of a worry that demand conditions might remain weak for another couple of months?
In some of the sectors, I mean the commentary which is coming from the company is clearly indicating that there has been some kind of slowdown in the demand. Unlike last time in sectors like FMCG where there was a massive cleanup of the shelves and there was a destocking and restocking happening. This time around that situation is not there. So but surely yes, there has been a decline in demand in certain pockets and in certain segments of as far as the consumption of the FMCG space and also in some of the consumer durables is concerned. So there has been a certain hit surely and probably will continue for a couple, I don't know whether it will get into a couple of quarters, but surely for next 2 months, I think the situation probably of demand might be slightly subdued.
So Rajiv, net, are we back to square one exactly where we started at the same time last year?
No.
Or is it only the medical news that is going to bring us back on track?
No. The situation is very different from last year on every count, in the sense that as far as that was a black swan kind of event. It came without any warning signs, and took everybody was with surprise. And this time, essentially, of course, the second COVID wave is much stronger and much worse as compared to last year. But in terms of the industrial activity and even demand, we are far better placed because we have a vaccination now. Currently, the news flow is so much negative that it's very tough to keep your brain sane and look at more numbers and such because emotions are running high. But we are far better placed as far as compared to last year as far as the economy is concerned, and we're not going for a total lockdown. Of course, lockdowns are happening at state-specific level where the cases are high. They might continue. They have started for a week. They might continue for another week or 10-15 days. No one knows. But on a countrywide basis and a number as far as economy is concerned, we are far better placed.
Okay. Before the second wave started, the market was due for a correction as it was expensive. Whenever the second wave normalizes in the medical front, the valuation headroom is still missing. What is your view?
See, what has happened is in some of the sectors, the valuation would be taken care by the results of the fourth quarter. Part of it would be taken care of. But given the fact that the first quarter is going to be subdued, the one which we are right now in, yes, there will be issue of valuation. But again, the valuations over a short period of time tend to fluctuate very, to extreme. In certain sectors, things would not, valuations was always a concern. In certain segments, rather, I would say in small and mid cap. Those are the sectors, probably, those are the part of the market which are going to face, some more pressure in coming months to come. And they can surely underperform the market at a broader level.
जी राजीव, और अगर हम सेक्टर वाइज बात करें तो आज बैंकिंग और फाइनेंस सेक्टर के जो टॉप गेनर रहे हैं ये, और 2.1% की बढ़त बैंकेक्स ने दिखाई है। तो जैसा कि ये अभी कोरोना की दूसरी लहर के बाद जिस तरीके से राज्यों ने अपने यहाँ लॉकडाउन या पाबंदियां लगाई हैं, उसमें ऐसा माना जा रहा था कि अब जो है बैंकिंग सेक्टर के सामने फिर से कुछ समस्याएं आ सकती हैं, खासतौर पर लोन मोरेटोरियम को लेकर के बैंकों का आगे आना पड़ सकता है फिर से। तो क्या अब ये जो बैंकिंग सेक्टर के आज जो शेयरों में जो ये तेजी दिखाई दी है, इसके पीछे आप क्या वजह देख पा रहे हैं?
देखिए, पहली बार तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि वो मॉरेटोरियम वाला इशू दोबारा आएगा इस साल। पिछले साल आया था बिकॉज वो एक नेशनल लॉकडाउन था। इस बार ऐसा मुझे लगता नहीं है। बट जहां तक आपने प्रश्न करा, मेरे हिसाब से बहुत सारे रेड फ्लैग्स हैं बैंकिंग के, स्पेशली जो कि एमएसएमई और रिटेल लेंडिंग वाले जो बैंक्स हैं और एनबीएफसीज हैं, उनको फेस करने पड़ेंगे। तो देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम है इन टर्म्स ऑफ आज की। जहां तक तेजी की बात है, जैसे कि मैंने अभी मेंशन करा था कि आज एक्सपायरी थी वीकली ऑप्शन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की थर्सडे की, तो उसकी वजह से शॉर्ट कवरिंग की वजह से आपने कुछ स्टॉक्स में तेजी देखी, बिकॉज वो पिछले काफी दिनों से, स्पेशली बैंकिंग स्टॉक्स जो है वो पिछले 15 या 20 दिनों से, जब से कोविड का दूसरा फेज वेव ने जोर पकड़ा है, तब से वो अंडर परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं। तो एक शॉर्ट कवरिंग का फेज था आज। अब वो कल तक सस्टेन करता है या मंडे तक सस्टेन करता है, वो देखने की बात है।
Okay, today the Finance Ministry eased rules for capital expenditure by the government departments. It's going to spur the spending in an economy, as we all know, Rajiv, that it's trying to shake off the impact of the coronavirus infections. So going forward, that is going to add mightily to the sentiments in the economy.
I see these are all incremental things. It's not to say that they don't add value to the economy or this thing, but see, these are incremental things. These are small little things. When pushed up together and collected together, probably will have some impact. But as far as market is concerned, market looks at a very broader picture, and the broader picture is that there is a fear that the economic growth which had recovered, we had seen a sharp recovery in the last 2 quarters. Probably that recovery will now slow down, and the numbers for FY21 earning numbers, which were expected to be better, and for a large number of sectors were expected to reach pre-COVID levels, that will get further delayed. So these measures, of course, they would count over a long term. But I don't think so they have the ability to impact the sentiment in short term, because that is impacted by many other factors.
जी राजीव, आपने कहा कि आर्थिक रिकवरी की गति थोड़ी सी धीमी हो सकती है, और अभी जो कुछ रेटिंग एजेंसीज भी हैं वो भी जीडीपी वृद्धि दर में उन्होंने भी अपने अनुमानों में, पूर्व के अनुमानों में कमी की है। तो ये जो दूसरी लहर है सेकेंड वेव की, इसका असर जो है आप किन क्षेत्रों पर सबसे ज्यादा देख पा रहे हैं?
देखिए, मुझे कोई ज्यादा खास विश्वास नहीं होता रेटिंग एजेंसी, उनका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड देख के जो रेटिंग एजेंसी कहती हैं, तो मेरा कुछ उसमें उनके एनालिसिस या उनके प्रेडिक्शन में कुछ ज्यादा फेथ है नहीं। और क्योंकि वो लोग सीधा कंपनीज को AAA से D रेट कर देते हैं ओवरनाइट, विदाउट रियलाइजिंग कि ऐसा कभी हो नहीं सकता कि एक कंपनी अच्छी भली, वो उन सिग्नल्स को इग्नोर कर देते हैं जो बहुत टाइम से आ रहे होते हैं। तो रेटिंग एजेंसी क्या कहती है, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, आई हैव नो फेथ इन देम। कमिंग टू योर क्वेश्चन के कौन से सेक्टर है, मेरे हिसाब से जो है वो फाइनेंशियल थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम में रहेगा। सेक्टर्स जो कि कंजम्पशन ड्रिवन है फ्रॉम Tier 2 Tier 3 सिटी, वो थोड़े से हिट हो सकते हैं, और स्पेशली एनबीएफसी जो एमएसएमई और जो माइक्रो फाइनेंस की जो कंपनीज है उनमें थोड़ा सा दबाव हम अगले 2 क्वार्टर्स में देख सकते हैं.
So, Rajiv, you're absolutely right when you said a while back that the economy sees it from a macro perspective, not from a micro perspective. But then small little things add up to make larger...
Yeah, you're right. Rajesh, absolutely. These small little things add up. But, at this point of time, what has happened is that the kind of news flow which you see, it's a sentiment. In short term, the prices are determined by the short-term demand and supply equation, which in market is largely driven by sentiment. See, a large amount of trading in India happens in future and options. If you look at it, more than 80% of the trading happens in future and options.
Right.
Out of this, large part of it happens in index futures and index options. So these are things which are determined by sentiments and the kind of money flow which we see in the currency market. I mean, while rupee has stabilized, but if you look at it, there has been a slight amount of weakness in rupee in last few days. So some of the funds, some of the hedge funds, some of these guys would move their money out and in. So short term things can can remain volatile. Just to give you an example, we have been talking on this program for years. There have been times when the index was 15,000, and from 15,000 went to 18,000. Everybody said, oh, it has moved up. The fact is, if you are looking as an investor, these things 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters don't matter. Just if you have a good quality stock, good quality business you are owning, the management is good, the business is good, just don't look at the stock prices for these days and don't relate it to the news flow which keeps coming on news channels and business papers. Just avoid crowding your brain with the negative news flow which surrounds everyone, because most of the time these news guys, also tend to kind of flow with the wind. So if as an investor, just ignore these things, stay put. If you're an investor investing through SIP, please continue with your SIP. Forget until unless you have the skill set to pick the stock, please go through mutual fund route. That's the best route for people who can't afford time and don't have the skill set to look at stocks.
जी राजीव, और इन परिस्थितियों में विदेशी जो संस्थागत निवेशक हैं उनका रुख कैसा रहने वाला है?
देखिए, अभी तक अगर आप देखेंगे तो बीच में देखिए विदेश एफआई भी जो है, जैसे मैंने अभी कहा कि कुछ जो हेज फंड होते हैं जो करेंसी के बेस पे एक कंट्री से दूसरे कंट्री में पैसा मूव करते हैं, तो वो लोग जल्दी से जैसे जरा मूवमेंट देखते हैं तो पैसा वापस ले जाते हैं. फिर वही लोग हैं जो जरा सा देखते हैं स्टेबल हो गया तो फिर वापस लेके आते हैं. तो वो थोड़ा सा वॉलिटिलिटी क्रिएट कर सकता है इवन इन दी एफआई फ्लो, और जो कि पिछले दिनों में देखी गई है. बट ब्रॉडली अगर आप देखेंगे तो इमर्जिंग मार्केट स्पेस में आप पिछले 1 साल के 4 क्वार्टर उठा के देखेंगे, एक्सेप्ट फर्स्ट क्वार्टर लास्ट ईयर का, इसी टाइम पे जब लॉकडाउन था और इकोनॉमी बिल्कुल बंद हो गई थी, उसके बाद से पेस ऑफ रिकवरी जो था वो सरप्राइजिंग था. अगस्त में जब नंबर आने शुरू हुए और जो वो जितने भी एनालिस्ट थे उनकी उम्मीद से कहीं बेहतर आए. तो ये फेज ऑफ लॉकडाउन जो है, जो मिनी लॉकडाउन है, ये कुछ टाइम के लिए खराब करेंगे और एफआई भी शायद थोड़ा बहुत जो हेज फंड जैसे कि मैंने बात की वो जा सकता है. बट ओवर अ लॉन्ग टाइम मनी इज बाउंड टू कम टू इंडिया, especially in quality companies, at least in the top 200 companies, we will see कि उनका उस तरफ अगर बाजार गिरता है तो चांसेस ज्यादा ये हैं कि वो लोग उसको बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटी यूज करेंगे एज कम्पेयर टू सेलिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड मूविंग आउट.
Okay, what about liquidity? How will liquidity fare?
Oh, that is plain. There's too much. There's no issue as far as the liquidity is concerned at this point of time, because US Fed, which is the father of all central banks, has clearly said that they are going to continue with their policy. And see, as the economy opens up in US and the amount, if you look at the saving bank numbers in US, the amount of money which Americans have saved in bank is literally at all-time high. Now, as economy opens up, as people move out of their home, that money is going to will move into consumption. That money will be consumed for travel, for whatever. And there is a big infrastructure push which is probably going to happen in US over next 2 to 3 years. So all that probably is going to ensure that the demand from US remains high, which means demand from countries which supply goods to them remains high. It means metal prices are going to remain high. So there are pockets where we will kind of see, not so good about, positive about our economy. But there are sectors where probably we are going to see, like IT and all the tech spending in India is going to increase. So all those things are going to, I think, largely going to remain positive. And liquidity, I don't think so. After year 2001, central banks probably have decided that every time there's a crisis, put in more money and it will bail us out. And it has literally bailed out large, both US and European economies. So I think liquidity will not be an issue, at least for a couple of months coming, till end of this year or probably till October this year.
Okay, Rajiv, I'm going to draw your attention to the Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who said that no man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river and he's not the same man. I'm saying it in context of the 25 years of Nifty, which growing at a compounded annual growth rate of 11.1%. Nifty is up almost 14 times in the last 25 years. And out of the 50 stocks on Nifty, only 13 could keep pace in multiplying their market caps in order to be able to stay put on the index till today, which is the Silver Jubilee year. So how do you see the 50 stocks that we're talking about, the 13 doing very well, going forward? How is Nifty going to behave?
Well, I mean, the way we have our composition of index is currently and way it was, I mean, if you look at one stream of companies which were not there when this index was formed and sector was not there and hardly anybody talked about it, was IT. Yeah. Today, if you look at it, it is as one of the biggest component of Nifty and all other indices. And if you look at the sector as an economy, not many will know that India's IT exports are bigger than Saudi's oil export. So, as far as Nifty is concerned, given the fact we have IT companies and India has emerged IT power of the world in the last 25 years, I think, and the way it's structured, there is going to be a gradual, constant increase. So, I mean, somebody who does not want even to give money to the mutual fund, probably the best thing is to invest in an index fund. Actually, not many mutual funds are able to actually beat their benchmark, which is Nifty. So, stay with the index fund. That's the best thing. As far as, there will be phases when we will correct. But overall, if not 14, then probably inflation adjusted, the Nifty is likely to give you, and some of the other indices are likely to give you far better return even in next 25 years. No doubt about it. Look at Dow.
Okay.
Dow and look at its history. But look at the economy of Japan. Look at Nikkei. It has not performed for the last 40 years. So, I mean, there are phases, there are indexes, there are economies. We'll have to look at the way our economy is structured. I think that the possibility of stocks index doing well for next couple of decades is very high.
और अब रुख कर लेते हैं एशियाई बाजारों का। इस सप्ताह की शुरुआत में तेज बिकवाली के बाद आज एशियाई शेयर बाजारों में बढ़त दर्ज हुई। सकारात्मक वैश्विक संकेतों से एशियाई सूचकांकों को सहारा मिला, लेकिन दुनिया के कुछ हिस्सों में कोविड-19 के मामले फिर सामने आने से बाजारों की ये बढ़त सीमित रही। जापान का निकेई सबसे अधिक लाभ में रहा और 2.4% के उछाल के साथ बंद हुआ। सिंगापुर का स्ट्रेट्स टाइम्स सूचकांक 1% चढ़ा। हांगकांग का हैंग सेंग 0.5% और दक्षिण कोरिया का कोस्पी 0.2% की बढ़त के साथ बंद हुए। वहीं दूसरी तरफ चीन का शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स 0.2% फिसल गया। यूरोपीय बाजारों की बात करें तो अंतर्देशीय कारोबार में लंदन के FTSE 100 में 0.1% की मामूली बढ़त देखी गई। जर्मनी का डेक्स 0.5% के लाभ के साथ, जबकि फ्रांस का कैक 0.7% की बढ़त के साथ कारोबार कर रहे थे।
The three major U.S. equity indices surged yesterday after falling for two straight sessions. The U.S. stocks witnessed broad rally amid hope of benefits from a recovering economy, offsetting Netflix Inc.'s sell-off after its disappointing results a day earlier. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500 both climbed 0.9% and the Nasdaq Composite Index jumped 1.2%. Quick comment from you on the way the Asian and the U.S. markets are behaving. What repercussions that can they have on the Indian economy? Indian markets?
I don't know whether they will have an on the economy, but surely as far as market is concerned,
I corrected myself. Markets.
As far as markets are concerned, I think given that we have our own set of problem at this point of time, so the possibility that if those markets fall and if there is a selling pressure on emerging markets, we probably are going to be underperforming in short term. We'll fall more as compared to other Asian markets. And in fact, we have been in last 1 week, that has been the case. But these are small phases. They will pass through. Coming to the fact that US market, given that there's so much of liquidity, look at the kind of deals which are happening.
And the stimulus.
Billions of dollars has gone into SPAC deals. Look at the market capitalization of companies have gone up 3x. You just talked about Netflix. While it has disappointed on some some parameters, but if you look at the valuation, in last 1 year they have multiplied. After being expensive, they have become even more expensive. The probability is that after a short period of correction, then US markets are also likely to do well, given the fact that so much of money is floating there in the domestic hands.
Okay. Moving on. Oil prices today fell for a second day today to their lowest in a week amid a build in US crude inventories and concerns about surging COVID-19 cases in India, the world's third biggest oil importer. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $64.90 per barrel, while WTI crude prices were around $61 per barrel. Rajiv, it seems the COVID is not going to go away very soon from our country, and we are the world's third biggest oil importer. You think there is a case of the crude oil prices going down further?
Well, when you were reading it, I was feeling very happy that we have become such an important factor, that we can influence. But in my opinion, the truth is it's China, which in terms of which impact the prices, and US which impact the prices, and their inventory levels is. At this point of time, see, that's a commodity which is governed by a cartel. Now, in probably a lot of speculative money had gone into oil, in last couple of months rather, not weeks, and it is finding it tough to stay there because, as economies open, as certain other asset class start to do well, that money has to move out of that distance. I'm hoping that probably, what happens to COVID situation in India, I hope we recover as a country very fast. I'm thinking that probably the pressure will remain on oil prices and it will not go past $70-75 mark, because at that point of time, even the cartel tends to break, because there are a lot of countries which want to then sell off, because it is a very clear realization that over next maybe a decade or so, the way EVs are coming into the world, those reserves probably will not be required as much as they are required today. So somehow, after a point of time, even the countries who sign those agreements, they tend to break it. So at this point of time, given the situation, I don't foresee any sharp increase in oil prices, because a lot of speculative money will then move out, which will bring down the pressure on the prices again.
जी। और अब बात सोने की। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजारों में कीमतों में गिरावट से आज घरेलू बाजारों में भी सोने की चमक फीकी रही। मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज पर सोना 370 रुपए सस्ता होकर 43,855 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर कारोबार कर रहा था। चांदी भी 540 रुपए टूटकर 69,800 रुपए प्रति किलोग्राम पर आ गई। न्यूयॉर्क मर्केंटाइल एक्सचेंज पर सोना गिरावट के साथ $1,788.10 प्रति औंस, जबकि चांदी $26.50 प्रति औंस पर कारोबार कर रहे थे। राजीव नागपाल जी, आप कार्यक्रम में शामिल हुए और इतनी उपयोगी चर्चा की, इसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Rajiv, for being with us. And before we close the headlines once again, domestic stocks rise more than 0.5% in sync with positive global cues. Sensex regains 48,000 mark, Nifty reclaims 14,400 level. And Brent prices fall amid surging COVID-19 cases in India, the world's third biggest oil importer. That's all we have in this edition of Market Mantra. Till tomorrow, goodbye.
Namaskar.